Ezekiel is a prankster. He's a mama's boy. He loves to cuddle and be with mama. He loves to play with daddy and help him work on cars. Ezekiel doesn't have really a specific condition. The whole house got a cold and he just kept getting worse and worse and worse. We went out to eat and I'm looking at him and he's jaundiced. And I'm like, no, this isn't right. I call the doctor. Okay, he's jaundiced now. She's like, take him into the ER. I want him to get looked at. So we took him into the ER. The doctor was like, yeah, he's yellow. We're going to be running numbers. You're probably going to be going to Children's. Pick if you want to go to Milwaukee or Madison. So then when we got to Children's is the first time that we heard he's an acute liver failure. And that was so scary because you're seeing your baby decline.
I got the phone call from my wife and she told me that Ezekiel's liver completely failed and they had to get rushed to the Children's Hospital in Milwaukee. And I felt very devastated. My heart literally dropped to my stomach.
I mean, it got to the point that he couldn't even walk anymore on his own. And he wasn't eating much. He was yellow. I mean, it was so scary. All you can do in that moment for me was trust in God. And then sure enough, he did end up getting a liver and he had 4 surgeries in 1 week to have that transplant take place.
I'm just proud of him, how tough he is. He's a very tough child.
We chose to go to Disney. We thought that would be great for the family, and he was a perfect age for it. They love, the Disney characters, the Disney shows. And so Disney's where we went, and he just had an awesome time. It was so amazing. The treatment, we stayed at Give the Kids a World Village, and they truly made our wish come true. It was a beautiful experience. He got treated like royalty, which really touched my heart because in everything he had to go through, I mean, he wasn't able to eat for a while, then he could eat again. He couldn't walk, then he could walk again, just to see him so excited and be able to enjoy that. And we stressed to him so much through that whole week, this is for you. This is because of everything you went through, because you're a warrior. This is why you're getting this treatment. And everybody went out their way to make it so special. It was so amazing. Make-A-Wish, I just want to say thank you. Truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. There is not enough gratitude that I could give you for making my son's wish come true.
Thank you, Mr. Wish.
My name is Lucas McElroy, and I have tuberous sclerosis complex. It means that I have tumors growing in me, in my brain, my heart, my kidneys, mostly everywhere in my body.
Since he was born, we've had lots of doctor's appointments. When he was 4 weeks old, he went into something called SVT, supraventricular tachycardia, and he had to be transported down to Milwaukee. They were not able to convert him out of it, and so he actually had pacer wires put down his throat to restart his heart. It seems like every day is kind of like a whirlwind of like what's going to happen today.
It feels like I'm holding a tiny bit of like a tad bit of a burden, knowing that I have this and it's never gonna go away.
Lucas was just feeling a little bit down about everything that was going on, feeling like he's different, and kind of having a hard time with that. I think it was the first time he was kind of realizing like this isn't normal. So we had our annual visit with his genetics doctor. We were at the end of our appointment and Dr. Basil came back in and said, he qualifies for Make-A-Wish and we're gonna refer him. As we left that appointment, we were walking down the hallway of Children's Hospital. Lucas was holding my hand and he looks at me, he goes, I wanna go to Hawaii. He just knew right away he wanted to go to Hawaii.
Before I got my Make-A-Wish invitation, it felt like I was super disabled. It felt like bad knowing that I could never get rid of this. Then when I figured out that I was going to Make-A-Wish, it felt so good, like that I was special.
It was nothing that I ever imagined that I would be able to do with my kids. Lucas counted down the last 100 days. He had a little chart and he marked off for 100 days until we finally left.
Like knowing that every day we got closer and closer, it's just, that made me feel so excited.
He was just so excited to get there, and it was all a new experience. So before the plane took off, they called his name over the overhead to come up to the front of the flight, and he got to go and meet the pilots and sit down and check out the instruments, and they were just so welcoming to him and just really made him feel really special. And then when we finally got to Hawaii, I mean, it was a gorgeous day. It was sunset. There was a rainbow that you could see from the airport. It was paradise. It was awesome. And everybody made him feel so special.
I didn't get to see the humu humu nuku nuku apua. I saw the uhu uli uli. It's basically just the nerd emoji, except blue and a fish.
I think it just brought his spirits up from the moment he knew he was going to get to go do it. But yeah, since we've been back from our trip, yeah, I think his emotional health is a lot better than it was. I think he's more confident. He has something to talk about with other kids and kind of brag about a little bit, like, I got to go do this. And so I think that's exciting for him. We won't ever forget this experience. The fact that people are out there and want to help families like mine is overwhelming. I'm very grateful.
This is Paisley, and she has neurocutaneous melanosis.
We didn't know about it whatsoever when she was born. She had little moles all over her body. At 2 weeks old, we did an MRI, and we unfortunately found it was on her brain and spinal cord, as well as it was causing hydrocephalus. So she ended up having surgery to have a shunt placed for the hydrocephalus at 2 weeks old. And we were told at that time she wouldn't live to the age of 2. Going forward, we did many doctor's appointments with neurosurgery, neurologists. At 6 months old, she did have a seizure. She really just started to have really bad days. They found that they thought her shunt just needed to be replaced. So they did a revision, which led to her having 10 surgeries after that with complications. Right now, there's no cure for her disease. We know that eventually it will start progressing, and without a cure, we're doing the best we can to just keep her comfortable. It was devastating, to be honest. It really gives you a different perspective on life itself. We had one doctor come in and gave us the advice to celebrate the good days. And we've kind of just lived with that. That's what we do. We celebrate her good days and we get through the bad days. Let's enjoy the moment. Maybe sometimes it's even just an hour that she's feeling good, but we really live by that now.
She really is just the best daughter anybody could ask for. For going through what she goes through, I mean, she's in pain every day, but she has a high pain tolerance. I mean, she pushes through, better than I probably could. She's silly, she's spunky, she's sassy. She loves her brothers fiercely. She's perfect. People ask, about her spots and what she goes through. And, frankly, it sucks. But just everything about her, I wouldn't change a thing. She's just the best daughter, and she deserves the world.
When we found out Paisley's disease was progressing, we kind of talked to her about, what are things that you really want to do in your life. And she, even before this progression, she has talked about wanting to go to Disney World and wanting, to meet the Disney princesses.
everything leading up to it, you know, the wish coordinator. I mean, she was coming over with gifts, and she was sending Paisley cards and making her feel very special. And the princesses at Disney World were sending Paisley cards, telling her how they can't wait to meet her. You go to the Wish Village, Give Kids the World, and that place in itself is almost like its own little, like, escape. I mean, there's rides, there's pools, there's a 24-hour ice cream shop. I mean, it's the perfect place for kids. And you go to Disney World and just driving up, and you see the little faces in the back of the van and the smile, because they know what's coming, but they don't know what's coming. I mean, I had never been before, and even I felt like a kid when I was there. But just how well she was treated by everybody at Disney World and Universal Studios and SeaWorld. Like, you know, they know she's a Wish kid, and they give her the world. And I mean, I have a picture from the night of the fireworks of just her looking up, just in amazement of the fireworks over the castle. We will forever be grateful for that, for Make-A-Wish and that trip to Disney World. It was just the best.
It was like literally you're going into your own little fairy tale for a week, and it was the family vacation we all needed, and it could be the only one we ever have together. So it was extremely meaningful to us.
I'm a dad. That's my baby girl. You want to see her graduate high school. You want to see her fall in love and get married and have kids. And, you know, it sucks sometimes that you question, will we see these things? But in a perfect world, we're just going to keep going. We're going to manage that pain. We're going to keep bridging the gap from one medication to the next. And she is going to graduate. And she's going to go to college. And she's going to fall in love. And I'm going to dance with her at her wedding. And she's going to have a beautiful life. Thank you, Make-A-Wish.